Hello everybody, my name is Scuttles, and today we've got some exciting news revolving around Prehistoric Kingdom. Do you guys remember whenever Prehistoric Kingdom was first announced and we had the opportunity to go out and back the project on Kickstarter? Well, if you just so happen to support the project, then you're probably already aware that the team of developers behind this project have been hard at work to bring us a quality game. And if you weren't aware, in this video we'll tell you everything that you need to know about the upcoming beta release, launching on December the 6th, only 3 days away. That's right folks, in only 3 days time, if you have backed this project at the beta access tier or higher, then you will be able to test out this upcoming release. Now in the event that you did not back the project, I myself have actually pledged enough towards the project to unlock this beta access, which we will be showcasing here on the channel, in case you would like to see what this beta version of the release has to offer. Now obviously things will change, possibly even quite substantially, between this version and the final release, but with that being said, let's go ahead and see what this new update will bring to the table. So in this latest Dev Diary update, you can see it's update 77 actually, Prehistoric Kingdom has been very good with telling the community about what all they've been up to. But if we take a look at this, we can see your typical welcome to November's development update. It says, in today's post we'll be discussing some of the beta's day 1 content and how to access it. Prehistoric Kingdom's closed beta will be arriving on December 6th with an expected launch time of 1 PM PST. But let's get to the exciting bits. If we scroll down past that just a little bit further, we can actually see what features will be making an appearance in this first closed beta. So for starters, animals. There will be 14 animals at the launch of this game, those of which are the Archaeopteryx, Camarasaurus, Dinoceras, Edmontosaurus, Lambiosaurus, the Microraptor, Nasutoceratops, Pachyrhinosaurus, Protoceratops, Parasaurolophus, the Torvosaurus, Tyrannosaurus, Syrachosaurus, as well as the woolly mammoth. So while this may not be the massive roster that we know is coming to this game, it is going to be a good start just to sort of get the overall vibe that this game is going to be bringing to us. That being said, we will need to take care of these animals. It says that these animals will have basic needs. The animals will need to eat and drink so that we can actually provide them with feeders and water sources to stop them from going extinct. Again. It says that there will now be new padding and animations. Animals now turn dynamically as part of their wandering behavior, introducing noise and variation to their walking patterns. A handful of animals, such as the Tyrannosaurus Rex, will also have new additive and idle behaviors, such as scratching, sniffing, and more. These behaviors will be given to other animals over time to expand their liveliness. So as we can see right here, it looks like Prehistoric Kingdom's developers are going to be working very hard to also bring these creatures to life to the best of their abilities so that they feel like real living creatures, as opposed to just being a couple entities in a game. And if we scroll down just a little bit further, we can see that under this creative tab here, the game will be introducing a whole bunch of different modular options. For starters, we have a modular system rewrite, which, long story short, is basically just saying that this will help them to optimize their game, and while it may not be that much different than the alpha version that came out a while back, this version will be a lot more scalable, allowing them to optimize it even further than this in the future. It says that there will be modular buildings that we can place, such as guest kiosks, dynamic animal statues, animal nurseries, power generators, and even more. With 10 modules being available in this closed beta, fully custom and interactive buildings are now a reality for Prehistoric Kingdom. So way back in the day, I'm not sure what sort of version of this game you would call this, but there was like a little downloadable trial testing sort of thing, and this was years and years ago, that we actually did on the channel before it was the channel, if that makes sense. Like, you can't actually go out and find this video, but I'll throw some clips up on screen, which is actually me playing it way back when. And essentially it was very limited. I believe there were only about 3 or so creatures that we could make at the time. I believe the Gallimimus, Triceratops, as well as the T-Rex are the only 3 that are really coming to mind at the moment. I could be wrong about that, but those are the 3 that are coming to my mind. And then around that, we would have, of course, this one map where we could place out a nursery to hatch these dinosaurs, as well as a ranger outpost station. I'm not sure if that's actually what it was called, but it was some sort of module to where we could place vehicles to go out and drive through our parks and check on them. Other than that, and a couple different fencing options, that was really about it back in the day. There may have been a couple more buildings that I'm just not quite remembering, but that was all of the actual functional important stuff at the time. So as we can see, from that time, it's come a long ways. Now sure, you could argue that games such as Jurassic World Evolution have done the same sort of thing, if not more, in fact, a lot more, in a much shorter amount of time, but at the end of the day, you have to remember that this is also a much smaller scale project that was only funded by Kickstarter, as opposed to being a full gaming development company such as Frontier. But I mean, even while that is the case, if you've never heard about this project before and are interested in it, don't let that scare you away. Even though this may not be a huge like AAA game or whatever they call it, this is a project that has so much passion and time that's been put into it that I can already tell it's going to be a very quality game, and it's going to give Jurassic World Evolution and other games like it a good run for its money. Now, obviously fingers crossed here, but it does not seem like this game is going to be another one of those Mesozoic sort of incidents where the game is just an absolute flop and money grab. This seems like it's something that there's actually a lot of passion behind, to where they actually want to make something that they're proud of. Anyways, apart from that rant though, I'm not really sure how we just went from modules to all of that, but anyways, Modular Prefabs. Build and create modular prefabs for easy use in your parks and other saves. Share with your friends by uploading your builds online via the Steam Workshop, which is coming later. But that's really cool. So not only will we be able to place down custom buildings that we had made in the past, but we can also upload them to the Steam Workshop for other people to download, very similar to how in Planet Coaster and probably Planet Zoo as well. I'm not too experienced in Planet Zoo, but you could go onto the Steam Workshop and subscribe to different things, which is free. It just sounds like it's an expensive thing. It's sort of like YouTube. You can just subscribe to it for free. By the way, if you haven't, you should subscribe below so you don't miss out on any of this good content. Wink, wink. But anyways, that would just allow you to basically have it downloaded for your game, which you could then go and place into your parks, which is really cool, and I'm really excited to see that's a feature. I did not know that this was going to be a thing, but now that I'm reading it here, that's awesome. And of course, if you don't really want to take the time to let your creativity run wild and make a custom building, you can of course select prefabs, which you can just go ahead and drag and drop into your game, so you don't have to actually take the time to design something yourself. It says modular styling improvements. Styling has been reworked for better use and reliability. Contextually swap themes, materials, and mesh variants at the click of a button. So think back to Jurassic World Evolution and how we can swap between the Jurassic World styles as well as the Jurassic Park styles. And very soon, as of Update 1 coming in a few days here, the Department of Fisheries and Wildlife update will also bring another variant of building that we can add. I think this will be very similar to that in how we can change different themes, or even if you think over to like Planet Zoo, how we can have the African themed area versus the jungle themed area, that sort of thing. Moving on, modular snapping point. If you would like to, you can choose to place things on a grid system, which as you could probably guess, just allows you to get perfect angles and lines with all your buildings so that everything is nice, even, symmetrical, and geometric. Modular foliage painting. Thanks to community feedback, the foliage brush has been completely overhauled. Featuring snazzy new painting and removal animations, players can now paint modular trees directly onto the terrain. Move, scale, and rotate to your heart's content. Which is very cool. So just like modular building, we'll now be able to customize our trees and plant life as well. So if we really wanted to, we could have the tallest of sequoias just towering over our creatures, which is obviously not a bad thing to have. Like, you don't have to use it if you don't want unrealistically tall trees, but if you do, then hey, now you have that option. New themes, styles, and items. Over 150 new items have been added to the beta, 500 plus total, which is really cool. That's a huge number. I'm excited about that. Along with over 60 different styles found across a number of modules and customizable pieces, there's a lot of content to sink your teeth into, and this number will only continue to grow throughout the beta and beyond. So as if it wasn't apparent already, if you haven't picked up on it, this game is going to be very detail oriented. You obviously don't have to go into all these details, but if you're very creative and you want to make an extremely unique park that suits exactly the vision that you're going for, this is going to be the game to do it. We will have so many different customizable options and features, which will essentially allow us to take the vision that we have in our mind and perfectly replicate it down below without having to compromise in any sort of ways similar to the constraints that we can find in games like Jurassic World Evolution. Furthermore, it says that we'll also have the ability to use an undo/redo button, which is basically just a quality of life feature. It's nothing groundbreaking, but if we make a mistake, we can easily go Ctrl-Z, Ctrl-Y, or some sort of other key binding like that, which just allows us to move back and forth through time, and just basically speed up the building process. Management and progression. Finances. On the surface, the financial management tool isn't that dissimilar from the alpha, though the groundwork for future gameplay integrations with loans and exhibit donations has been laid out. It's there, but it'll see more substantial use as the beta improves. So as it just states right here, the finances in this game are going to be probably pretty bare bones, but it says that it has laid down the groundwork so that they can improve upon it in the future and make something that's a really nice managemental sort of complex system. By the sounds of it, not only will we actually be able to take out loans to fund our parks, but we can also place up little exhibit donation areas as well, which people can go ahead and place money into in order to show their support for the creatures, the exhibit, the park, whatever it may be, and just help you have another source of revenue. Excavations. We can use our science points to unlock new animals and genetic skins with excavations. Discover new dig sites by increasing the park's rating. So as you may have guessed here, I'm going to do what's called a pro gamer move and compare this to another game. If we think back to Jurassic Park Operation Genesis, that gem of a game back in the day, I feel like I say that about it every single time I bring it up, but it's true. Anyways, looking back at JPOG, anytime that your park's rating would increase in that game, it would allow you to unlock another dig site, which would allow you to get more creatures. It sounds like this is actually going to be taking a very similar course, basically just meaning that you can't just go and unlock all of your dig sites right away. You have to actually grow your park and get a bit of a following with your park visitors before you can go and expand to new territories and find new fossils and creatures. Basic science points. Passively accumulate science points over time to unlock new species. This system will receive a large update during beta once exhibit scoring has been implemented. So this right here, I'm not entirely sure what it's meaning. I'm not sure what sort of currency a science point is going to be. Obviously it says that we can use it to unlock new species. So if I had to make a guess, then perhaps our park's rating would allow us to unlock an excavation site, but then furthermore, we don't just immediately get all the creatures at that excavation site. We'll have to use these science points, which we'll receive via some sort of mechanic, I'm not entirely sure. But either way, once we've accumulated enough of those science points, then we can unlock a certain species from that excavation site. That would be my guess on this, but I could be wrong about that. And with that being said, that is the last thing in this little update. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you're excited for Prehistoric Kingdom's closed beta, then please be sure to hit the like button down below, comment letting me know that you're excited, or just tell me if you're going to be playing this game for yourself. Do you have access to the beta? I hope you do. Maybe we can all play together. But if you don't happen to have access to it, then I would like to extend a formal invitation to you to come on over to our channel here, where we can showcase everything that this new beta release has to offer. Either way, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, I'll see you later. Bye bye.